This study, Hell's Bells by AC/DC, and yes, I am wearing the wrong shirt, I apologize. Your riff should sound like this. Now, as you can hear, there's a little bit of overdrive. So it's not a clean sound, it's not like this. And it's not a heavy distortion. That's too much, so we're going for a very light overdrive. But enough of that. I'm assuming you're playing on an acoustic. It's going to sound just as good on an acoustic as well, so it's not an issue if you're playing electric or acoustic. Let's learn the song. It sounds really cool. I'm first going to start off focusing on what does our fretting hand do. We're starting with finger 1 on fret number 7 on the 4th string. Note should sound like that. Pinky is going to be fret number 9 on the 3rd string, or you may use your ring finger if you want as well. So you can use ring finger or pinky. I like the pinky, but lots of guitarists prefer the ring. Okay, we're going to start off by playing the 5th string, then you're going to go to the 3rd string, 4th string, and then what's this one? It's back to the 3rd string, but I've released the pinky, or if I'm using the ring finger, I release the ring finger. So either way, whichever finger is playing fret 9, you release it for the 4th note. And when I say 4th note, if you look at your PDF file that I've sent along, you'll see that the first 4 notes are 0977. Okay, and we hold on to that last 9 right up until the very last 7. So it's, and you want all the strings to ring at the same time. Now, after you've played that, you simply move your first finger down to fret 5, keeping in mind that your first finger has been flat across both strings the whole way through. So right from the beginning, even at fret 7, even though the pinky was on, or the ring finger, you wanted him flat for when you released the ring or pinky. And you move down to fret 5. But before you do it, you play the 7 one more time, open, and then onto the 5 over there. One more time. It's the next group of 3 notes. 7, open, 5. Let's put the first bar together, slow motion. 2, 3, 4. Now I just want to do a quick detour on the picking hand as well, just to keep the picking hand in the loop over here. And you'll notice that my palm is really close to the saddles being the place where your strings come out from the actual bridge of the guitar. So I'm at the back over here. I'm actually resting on the top string, which I'm not playing. So I've got some sort of centralization, some sort of positioning, so I can feel my strings. And then the picking, definitely using a pick for this, not good for fingers, and maybe a little bit of palm damping. What I'm hoping you'll realize over here is that when I'm picking, it's a very, very small movement. So this will be bad. Don't do this, because you lose sort of perspective where your strings are. You have to focus too much on your picking hand. Keep it nice and snug and tight onto your guitar for security. Makes it nice and sort of comfortable. And one more time, small strokes. What makes this song really cool is that your fretting hand, you're really only using your first finger. The ring or pinky only gets used in the beginning. Check this out. As mentioned, we're starting off with fingers 1 and 3, or 1 and pinky. And once you've released, you're going from here, fret 7, down to fret 5, that's fret 5, back to fret 7, and you sort of start again, because the ending of the 4th bar has a slight change. But let's play bars 1 and 2 and watch the movements. Remember, finger 1 is nice and flat, and I'm going to use pinky because I like that. Want to play with 2 and 3 and 4 and. And you'll notice that your fretting hand is not doing very, very much. I'm going to zoom out now so we can get an overall view of picking and fretting hand. I think we should have a nice clear view of both hands now, picking and fretting. Fret 7, fret 9, let's take it the whole way through. And you can see that my picking hand doesn't move much. If you want to play along with, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the last 3 notes is going to be that 3, 2, and then open 5th string as on the 4th bar of your intro and chorus tabs. Refer to your tab sheet, obviously to your PDF file, and you can see that 3, 2 open at the end there, and that will lead you back to looping it. So the whole way through we're going to have something like this: 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that's your basis for the intro and also for the chorus. When it comes to the verse, you've got some pretty cool things happening, and I'm tempted to want to move my pickup switch or selector, this little switchy here, to the back for this to get a bit more of a bite to it. You can see there the switch a bit more clearer. Back position for this part. We're looking at the part now that goes, gives a bit more of a sort of a growl to it, more of a hint of an overdrive sound to it. And you're looking at where it says verse, riff in A, do 4 times, and it should sound like this. Now I want to focus on what this sound's doing, because there's some nice cool stretches over here from fret 2 to fret 5 at the end. Let's focus in on the fretting hand first. I think Angus Young has actually mastered how to make something simple sound so powerful and so cool. But anyway, enough compliments for Angus. We're starting off with an open A5 power chord. In other words, finger 1 is on fret number 2, 4th string. You're strumming string 5 for starters, then 5 and 4 to the full chord. And the little movement over there, all I'm doing for that 00 on your tab sheet is I'm going, lifting it up and putting it back for the 02. So, and you're only plucking 2 strings. For the next part, there's a tiny 8th note rest. You jump up to frets number 5 and 7, and you're going to go. And to make that work effectively, again, finger 1 needs to be flat, because if you don't have finger 1 flat, you're not going to be able to get that note. So we need to flatten the finger. You can see the finger flattening there to go to get the double 5. So your first bar, slow motion, 2 and 3 and 4 and then you pluck the double 5 on the 5th string, fret 5, 5th string, open 5th string, and you go down to a C power chord, and it's going to go, and you'll notice the stretch there. This is 3 and 5, and then you move down to 2 and 5. So the whole riff now together is going to sound like this. And for that double 5-0, maybe a little bit of palm damping. And you'll notice the double 5 is also part of the power chord you played at the end of the end of the first bar too. That's your riff in A. So when it says riff in A, that's what you're playing. So when he sings I'm a Rolling Thunder, I'm not going to sing like Angus Young, or sorry, as Brian Johnson, because you're not going to watch the video. Okay, but that's your first bar riff in A. For the riff in D, very similar. And it's playing a D power chord, which is not unlike your Back in Black. Remember that chord for those that have learned Back in Black? Same chord. But this time what we're going to do for Hell's Bells is we're going to lose the first finger. And it's a very simple but very powerful, and effectively what you're doing is you're playing D, G, it's a G inversion for those that know the theory, and back to D. So tiny gap and you do it again. Then into the 4th bar, you're going to have open, that's a 00, and you're going to have a C5, G5. So your riff in D is going to go slow-mo. And that's your riff in D. And you'll see I've put little footnotes on the PDF, like do twice or do 4 times. Just keep track of where you are in the song, and everything will work out really, really well. For riff in E, We go back up to the 7th fret, basically similar to your opening chord, but not quite, different strings. And you're going to go, again, that first finger flat is the call of the day for this song. Open E string, and then onto the second bar, and you can jump down to D over here, D and A, or you can go to D and A there as well. On the tabs that I got, I notice Angus likes playing the open strings, so I'm tempted to say rather do the D and the A and there to get an open string, although you can go to fret 5 and play D and A over here as well. They're both going to work for you. And the last two bars, very similar. And it just ends on a double G the whole way through. Those are all the components, all the individual parts we need to make Hell's Bells from AC/DC work well. And next time I'll try to get an AC/DC shirt so we don't punt the wrong band. Sorry about that. AC/DC is much nicer. Opinion, not fact. Okay. Any questions, guys? Let me know. The PDF should guide you through. Listen to the original. It will work really well. And have an awesome week. Thank you. Cheers.